Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. Right, so let's start to take a look at Shotgun Baby by the Stray Cats. I've only heard two versions of this, the original on Let's Go Faster and the demo version on the Let's Go Faster demos. And they're both basically the same kind of thing. I do prefer the production a bit more aggressive on the demo version, but the as we'll see, the kind of harmony is a little bit richer perhaps in the Let's Go Faster version. Not saying that in like a kind of sophisticated way in the sense of colourful chords. It's really just certain choices which we'll look at now, which can also make it fun to play, to be honest. So yeah, I mean, if I actually flick over to the bridge, you know, it starts off with that kind of pick scrape for something like that. I'm just holding down my E, and I'll just sort of drop my hand, you know, with the other end of the pick down on the strings. I guess I'm landing kind of on the E and the air. And I'll never get that the same twice, you know, depending where you'll hit it. You'll get all sorts of sounds. But it's not really important for the track. It's in the key of E, and you know, there's only really a few sections to this song, probably three, like the kind of main sort of chordal hook, then the kind of verse hook, and then the bridge. So basically, the whole thing's kind of based around this E, G sharp minor, A and B. In fact, if we just play through that, you know, a handful of times, just with a kind of very sort of muting, and I'm kind of playing lightly. It's all, you know, like I said, always about the rhythm, and I would perhaps move into these chords to give, you know, a certain sense of movement. So in a sense, the kind of basic idea what everything else is built on. So let's just look at these for a moment. So like I said, E major, G sharp minor, A and B. And what Brian sometimes does is, instead of hearing playing these chords, what he'll do, sometimes for the G sharp minor, he'll substitute it for a B. And sometimes it's a little bit of a kind of a more, not just a B, but a little bit of a riff, which we'll look at now. And the bass doesn't necessarily substitute that. The bass will carry on, and this B is the relative major to G sharp minor anyway. So that's why they share a lot in common. But by choosing sometimes the B voicing rather than the G sharp minor, which does contain those similarities, but by choosing the B, it just gives a different flavour sometimes. Brian does this on a few tracks, even in Lust and Love. There's like a B minor to a C sharp minor. Now the bass plays the B and the C sharp, but Brian plays D and E, which gives the same kind of effect, but slightly different. So it's the same here. With this, rather than the G sharp minor, we'll sometimes play a B, or this kind of idea based on the B. And then the same with the A. That's sometimes it's substituted for this F sharp minor, which is the relative minor to A. So sometimes rather than playing the A, he'll play the F sharp minor. So my kind of playthrough, it's just based on how I instinctively kind of hear what Brian might be doing. But as we'll kind of see now, you can just kind of mix these up as you want. So I kind of hear the intro. So like I say, really the intro will be the most basic way. Just 4 times. But rather than that, so we do that progression the second and the fourth time round, but the first time Brian sort of kind of puts in this substitute, so he plays the E to a B, a bit more of the power chord than the full B, the F sharp minor, and then back to B. A lot of the time on these second Bs we do this kind of more of a sliding in. So the first time round. And the second time, the kind of regular progression. Third time similar to the first. So rather than just a B, he does this kind of little riff. So just a B power chord. Second on the A. 4 on the D. Open A. Fourth on the low E. Open low E to the F sharp minor. That goes to the B again, maybe with the slides. And then the fourth time, just the kind of regular progression. I'm choosing all this in this kind of more muted-ish style. And that's where the verse will come in. And usually, or like this, I guess it's kind of more like a chorus, really. The verse is going to be this other section. So like so we'll come in for that in the chorus. And it's usually played in groups of, I think, three times. And so now this first time around, Brian seems to do this kind of E, B, F sharp minor to B again. Like I say, watch the playthrough for certain maybe ideas I do rhythm-wise, because I'll change this every single time. It's kind of based always around a certain vibe, but well, maybe I'll choose more of the low, or sometimes a bit more of the chord there. Maybe don't do the slide, or do it. So after the intro, yeah, the first kind of chorus. Next time, just normal. And the third time, kind of go to more of this open E. Kind of the, what we might call this chains around your heart pattern. So kind of this idea of strumming down to a note, kind of the E strumming down to the G string, picking the B, picking the G again, and then the high E. Like chains around your heart, we'll go back to the B string. So that's kind of an idea I might do then on the sort of final time in the chorus. Third I do a G sharp minor 7. This time for the A and the B. Well, it's kind of more like strumming to the D string and picking the G. Kind of to the D, the G, the D and the B. Maybe coming back with the sort of the upstroke on the G. Same idea on the B. As you can see, but its own context, it's not as tidy. There's a fly buzzing around here. So just through that kind of after the intro, the first kind of chorus. to an E. And a bit of a sort of muted idea there. So now we're going to kind of do this sort of rhythmical pattern idea, and I sort of always putting in this little chordal idea, which is going to be E to D to A, back to E, E, D, A, D, but a few little kind of changes in there. Missing context there. So yeah, I'd probably do something like that. So I'm playing the E to the D. And then hammer to the E, kind of flatten, and back to the E, because we're going to put this kind of chugging thing in between, mute the strings. And I do a couple of different rhythms, sometimes just more of a continuous. Sometimes more of a... For anything like that, always just start off with the kind of muted idea, get something going. And let the chords fall sort of naturally where your hand is sort of, on, whatever beat or accent. You get a lot of those kind of built-in rhythmical strikes just by thinking of the rhythm of this. Sort of more than like the chord changes themselves. It's like I said, I do that. This kind of open to hammered E, just for a bit of kind of more movement, and then flatten the fingers, to kind of an A-ish idea, back to the E. So if I was coming from the end of the chord, oh no, I'll do the chorus before that. That's it. So we go back into the chorus. So like I say, you can practice that slow. Catching those on the upstrokes, those changes. Although in my case, like I say, the open strings to that. So yeah, after that into a chorus, and the order this time seems like the regular. So let's do the end one of those. Yeah, just move up regular. Maybe a bit of slide into the B. Back to this. I might do the riff on the B. Back to the kind of picked idea for the third one. Back to the sort of second chordal idea. So So yeah, I just saw from that kind of second chorus go back into the whole chordal thing. When we start looking at the lead guitar parts, obviously that's kind of played up an octave also. E, D, A, E. And back into a chorus again after that, and I just kind of, same as the previous one, start off with just the regular. I think I put a double slide in there. This time the riff. And the picked. This time I think I went a little higher. So I think that there reaches the guitar solo. So then, yeah, let's see. Yeah, I've got a kind of. Not sure we go down. A kind of mystery train idea. So we'll look at that with all the other lead guitar bits in obviously separate classes. So then into the solo. And I do something like this for the solo. I think the first time round I do with the substitutions. Second time, regular. Third time, regular. Sometimes I'm even playing the E up here. A bit more of the chords maybe in the solo. Just to fatten it out a bit. I think in the fourth time I do the... The fifth time, I think, or perhaps up there. And the sixth time. I think something like that. And like I say, I'm just talking about, I think, the order that I've done it, but... and I'm sure a lot of this was off the cuff. Even sometimes on the recorded version, the bass goes to a different thing when I think it thinks Brian's going to do that, and then Brian will do it the next time. So there's nothing really set in it. You can put these, substitutes where you want and sort of make your own, kind of personal arrangements. Or maybe you can just play the whole thing with you could just use that and the chord idea. And you're fine with that. These are just kind of colouring it a little more. And I think it definitely will help your rhythm playing. So yeah, we get to the end of that solo, go into another kind of chorus. Now I do that. Go into this now, this kind of next cinematic part. So C sharp minor. So we're going to do C sharp minor, G sharp minor, B, and then F sharp minor, G sharp minor, A, B, and repeat the whole thing. So it's written really about this kind of rhythm. I think there's a kind of bit of a gallop to it. Kind of strum to each chord and put that rhythm in, except with these. We have kind of two strikes down on each. So let's see. So then the whole kind of chordal deal thing. And even, you know, I advise you just to play around with your own kind of rhythms, get that as, you know, get as funky and sort of, you know, as you can. And then, so yeah, we'll play through that whole thing, and then into like a kind of chorus before like this kind of final chorus. So then I think in the chord the last time round, so so regular. And the second time we do E, G sharp minor. This time the F sharp minor to B. Normally with the F sharp minor we kind of are substituting the G sharp minor for the B, but this time we do the G sharp minor to the F sharp minor to B. And I think the third time probably the picked idea. So that's like the last chorus before like this kind of double outro chorus. And this last time, so I think the final 3 times actually, I choose to do so like the first time the E, then like to the B, F sharp minor to B. Second time maybe up here, E, G sharp minor, A to B, E, the riff on B, F sharp minor, B, then probably E again. So the only difference here is we go to that final B. Just bringing my little finger up to get this substitution on the 9th of the G. To an E. Finished the, like I say, with the other guitar, with the lead stuff, that all kind of doubled up and has a much bigger sound. Even on those chordal things on the record, there's an acoustic, so that really gives that so much sort of propulsion with the sort of added acoustic. But yeah, that final time. That's the kind of the sound you're looking for inside those chords, you know, the chords. So right, so yeah, I mean that's about it really. Like I say, really, there's not much to that. You could do the whole thing based on that and just certain rhythm IDs. You could chug it all out like that. In fact, don't gotta be careful of hitting that low E too hard or bang it out of tune. And like I said in the beginning, you know, not too hard. You can get sort of more out of it rhythmically. If you don't pick too hard, there's a lot of colours to be found around there. Stick your own rhythms in there, play around, and just yeah, sort of it's a great one to sort of, you know, get your sort of rhythmical side warmed up. And yeah, we'll start looking at the lead sort of in this. You know, there's a lot of sort of even great major pentatonic stuff, which, you know, so I'll get all that finished. And yep, so have fun, take care, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.